Okay, remember that they are changing my voice. So I get fumed all the time. They hack my phone. They do things to change the way I sound, to change my speech patterns. And I get threatened all the time, and they do all kinds of horrible things to me. This gang stalking stuff has occurred for a long time, and I would like the president to admit that it's going on and that law enforcement is playing stupid about it. Okay? That'd be a huge first step. We're supposed to have freedom of speech here in America. America's not supposed to be a white supremacist nation or a black supremacist nation or any kind of racial supremacist nation. It's supposed to be a nation where you can pursue happiness. You can express yourself without being afraid of losing your job. A nation where you're allowed to criticize the government. You're allowed to say that you don't like everyone else on the planet if you want to. Every single day. That's how it's supposed to be. But people get canceled for much less than that. And it's more than being canceled. They get harassed. They get targeted. And there's fumes that they use. There's stuff in the food. They can change the way people look these days remotely. I kid you not. I was one of the first people, maybe the first 50 or so, I don't know what the numbers were like, but I was one of the first people to come on the internet and to say that gang stalking is real. They hired tons of people to go into the comments and troll us and to argue that it wasn't real. They were basically arguing no matter who you are, you must be crazy. Then the Havana syndrome comes out in the news, and it's tons of government officials. Then you see the Pegasus, okay, and the graphite and the various cyber weapons that came out. They're not so much front and center in the news, but those videos are out there. And it said that thousands, tens of thousands of political dissidents were targeted with these cyber weapons. And I came out with a video before that came out where I showed that they were hacking my phone. And I showed that they were typing things into my phone. And you see with the Pegasus and all this other stuff, this Israeli company made it so that they can basically take control of your whole phone. They can type things into your phone with these cyber weapons. And they're using them with impunity. They're not afraid of going to jail or losing their job. Okay, the government's encouraging them to do it. Their orders are basically to harass people for their freedom of speech, for not going along with their sexual control game, which leads me to this Epstein thing. Boy, does the Epstein case prove that gang stalking is real. My goodness. These are massive networks of people with thousands and thousands of females all over the world being human trafficked. There's governments involved, right? At first I was hesitant to say this because I deal in the facts. I didn't want to just come out and say, I know for sure that there's, I make sure that there's the facts there. And after they kept saying it, after this discussion with the list, after I got a certain amount of facts together, I said, okay, now it's safe to say that the governments of the world, many of them, are involved with Epstein, the various intelligence agencies. I said, there's white, Jewish, and LGBT people, okay, who are leading the charge against me. You see little Nas X, you see Lady Gaga, you see who the popular celebrities are, right? They're LGBT and LGBT-friendly people. And that goes back to the social engineering. And then you see with the Israeli-made cyber weapons, right? They're making powerful cyber weapons for governments to use. And there's a bunch of Jews who know that, rich Jews, and they're helping them do it. And there's rich whites helping them do it. And there's people of other races as well. So the things I've said over the years, very controversial things, they've all been proven to be true. These very core things are very reliable. During the course of being targeted, I did something that a lot of other targeted individuals probably didn't do. I attained a college degree, and not just a college degree in information technology, which is one of the harder college degrees to attain. So can you imagine? While they're trying to say that I'm crazy and stuff like this, that I'm going to college, working on my IT degree, how stupid they must feel. Can you imagine somebody who's schizophrenic going to college, interacting with people in a way that's normal, working with them in groups, and getting a degree? I don't think that's ever happened in human history. Obviously, I'm not crazy. And the recent events of the news have proven that. Epstein, the spyware, and not the spyware, excuse me, the cyber weapons that they put on your phone, they came out in the news. The Havana syndrome. How many things that people who are targeted have claimed to exist must come out in the news as something that not only exists and is patented, but is something that they use against political dissidents before you acknowledge that gang stalking is real, and we have a huge problem here in America where there must be hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands, of targeted individuals. Both the Democratic and the Republican Party refuse to speak on it. If we have a democracy, why are you more afraid of the corporations than the people? A democracy is something that occurs when the people rule the government, not the corporations. I can't think of any time in my life where the people truly ruled the government, because the cultures trickle down. They market things to you. And it's been like that since before the term eugenics was coined. A bunch of rich people will come up with an idea, and they want things to go a certain way, and they have certain social clubs that are concerned with who socializes with who, certain fraternities who are concerned with who fraternizes with who make sure that it goes down that way. Look at the case of the Ku Klux Klan. The second Klan had around 5 million members. There's different estimates, 4 to 6 million. Who call it 5 million? There was other groups like the Black Legion, which was said to have 500,000 members. You know, I didn't hear about the Black Legion till I was in my 40s or so. And I'm 43. So I was like 42 or something. And recently I saw a documentary on the Klan where they said that the number doesn't include other people who sympathize with them and help them out. Millions and millions of Americans sympathize with the Klan and help them out, on top of the 5 million members. America's always had a problem with terrorists and corporations and government personnel working together to control the culture. Do you think what it means to be proud to be an American? I'm not proud to be American, mind you. But do you think what it means to be proud to be an American is to play stupid about that? Is to help people like Epstein with their sexual control gimmicks? As they work with Hollywood celebrities involved. Can you imagine that you're so comfortable sexually exploiting people, raping children, what have you, that you're doing it with celebrities and powerful people in the governments? They're not powerful when it comes to being a man, because vir and virtue means man. That's a profound disgrace. What they did was so dumb, there's no words for it. Well, we see people hesitating to say that because they know there's countless other people doing it right now who think that it makes them tough or something.